Hi there. So thank you very much for joining the sports presentation today. So my name is Fraser. I'm a volunteer manager working for Traveltier. And today I'm going to be running through our sports development program and how you guys can get involved. I'm also going to be answering some sort of frequently asked questions at the end as well. So if people did want to get in contact, we will have all of our details at the very end as well. So you can send some questions there and feel free to at any time. So I'm just going to jump over now and share my screen so we can see a presentation I have prepared for you guys today. Fantastic. So this is actually our town. This picture is taken. This is actually in Hikkaduwa. This is a Buddhist monument. So you guys can actually visit this on your travel over to Sri Lanka as well. So a little bit about Traveltier. So we have now been operating now for 6 years in Asia. We basically combine high impact volunteering alongside traveling abroad and also traveling the countries that you visit, plus the fundraising support that you'll get from the UK as well. Our aim is to create brighter futures for children in local communities, and that's what the sports program is actually all dedicated about. We also help promote wildlife and environmental conservation with other programs that we do as well, and I will be mentioning these today. Since our launch, we've actually now taken over 800 volunteers from around the world to do all our different programs in Asia, which is Sri Lanka, Nepal, and also the Maldives. And since our launch, we've also helped raise over £100,000 towards our charity, which is called Traveltier Impact. And I'll be going through a little bit about the fundraising and how you guys can also support this number as well. So a little bit about your placements. We understand that all your courses are slightly different. Some do require a short-term placement, maybe just for a few weeks. Or it could be a long-term placement where you take a whole year off uni, or this could be something after you graduate or just in your summer break. It's up to you. You can use this as a placement, or you could just use it as an experience. So we give you that flexibility. Firstly, with choosing when you want to come. So you can come to Sri Lanka anywhere from January all the way to the end of September every year. You can stay for a minimum of 2 weeks, but there's no maximum. You can stay up to the whole season, which is 9 months as well. The reason why we've put the 18 plus here as well is because you might have some friends or family that might want to join you on your trip as well. They don't have to be from the same university or even attending one. They just need to be over the age of 18. And this is a small idea of the living costs here. So it's £24 per day. Later on in the presentation today, I also will be covering through this in a bit more detail. So Sri Lanka, this is actually the country we first launched in. It's a very, very beautiful island just off the coast of India. It's nicknamed the Jewel of Asia, and you can see why. It's got golden sands, beautiful palm fringed beaches, and it's actually where we run most of our programs as well. So predominantly I'm going to be going through the sports development program today, but we also run an marine and wildlife conservation, English development, healthcare, and also textiles and design. So with the healthcare and textiles, I won't actually be covering this in this presentation today. So just feel free to jump over to our website, which is www.traveltier.co.uk, and you can check it out there if you wanted to.
Traveltier's Sports Development Programme.
High five! Yeah!
Help coach local sports teams in Sri Lanka. Teach PE lessons, after-school clubs, and build sports fields.
So the sports development, the reason why this program was set up is because there's a serious lack of funding that schools are receiving in Sri Lanka right now. So what this causes is a lack of staff, facilities, and also equipment. So as they are really, really trying as hard as they can to really give these children a good education, they are unfortunately not able to provide them with PE lessons. So children can go through primary and secondary school without ever having any sports classes. And for a lot of people that do play sports, as you are watching this presentation today, we know you probably know how important it is for both your physical and also your mental health. And especially at this age, from a primary to a secondary school, it's so important for kids to be playing sports and introduced to new things, because not everyone's going to love football. They might like rugby or cricket and so on. It lets them exert energy. So when they go back into the classroom, they can be more focused. It's good for their positive mental health because they're outside, they're playing sports, they're having fun. Plus, it's health and exercise as well, which is really good. In regards to this age group, they also pick up a lot of key skills for the rest of their life about teamwork and leadership and problem solving, and also how to be a good loser and a good winner as well, which is good for their future, really. So we basically bring a diverse range of sports like football, rugby, cricket, basketball, badminton, netball, volleyball, so on, and actually go there and deliver these PE lessons for the children. So this program is perfect for anyone who is studying a sports course, wants to go into a bit of coaching in the future. Maybe you've done a little bit before, maybe this is your first time. That's absolutely fine either way. We do accept any experience because we'll be giving you that training when you're there as well. So on the left side of the screen here, you can actually see our achievements up to date. So we're currently now teaching sports in 12 different schools in the south of Sri Lanka. We've helped renovate 8 multi-purpose playing fields. We've actually helped donate £7,000 to these schools and their facilities as well. And to date, we've actually taken over 160 volunteers as well. So the program aims moving forward are quite simple, to reach out to the local community. So we are now doing this and we've been doing it very successfully. So assisting the local teachers and deliver these PE sessions, focus on a variety of different sports and games for their creation at a grassroots level. Improving facilities and equipment. So I will be touching on this as well today, but it's a really important part of it is actually to provide the facilities for these kids to play the sports in. Otherwise, they won't be able to happen. And also program expansion. So we want to help push the sports program further around the country, implementing sports lessons for all different children. So this is going to be a fantastic thing moving forward. So firstly, the first project is working in the schools and preschools. So we do work with a range of different children, and of course we do adapt the sessions depending on their age group. If they're quite young, we kind of keep it athletics based, lots of relay races, making it nice and simple. And then when they get a little bit older, we can then introduce lots more other sports as well. And don't worry, don't panic if this is your first time. You will be working alongside other volunteers and also our staff to deliver each PE session, meaning that you can sort of build your confidence up in this new environment. Obviously, it's very different to teach sports in the UK. Some people think, oh, it might be a language barrier. That is not a problem at all. We find it very easy to get all the activities explained very fast. And if you do need that little bit of support, one of our Sri Lankan team is always there just to give a quick translation as well. But we do a lot of demonstrations, and the older children in the group usually help out and explain some bits of it if the kids weren't understanding. But you find you really don't need this. The kids are quite smart and they crack on with it quite quickly. We also donate the uniforms as well for their sports kit. So this means they can actually use this for all the different PE lessons and also sports clubs outside of their school time as well. So in Sri Lanka, school finishes around about 1 p.m, which is quite early. And we want to give them something more productive with their afternoon. So we actually run youth clubs in the different areas that we work in. It's usually an hour's English to start off with to help push their education in this field. And then the second hour is always a sports lesson as well, to give them like an incentive and also just have something fun they can do with their afternoon. All the children from all these different programs are invited to then join a sports team if they are really interested. So currently we are now working and help set up a football, a rugby, a cricket, and also a volleyball team for both boys and girls. And here we can really knuckle down on our sports coaching, because right, the kids know the sport a lot better. They've been playing it for quite a while now. So we can work on some really specific skills, so it can really help them in competitive matches as well. And we've actually seen some fantastic achievements with this program. For example, the rugby team have actually taken their skills and actually implemented it in tournaments, where the boys team came second in the under-18s cup, and the female team actually came first place in the under-18s cup. So it's fantastic to see that they've gone from a grassroots level in rugby to actually now coming some of the best players in Sri Lanka for their age group. And it actually goes further than that. Children that we've actually worked with in these sports teams are achieving scholarships into universities in Sri Lanka, which actually means they can gain that higher level of education, which previously would have been pretty impossible because university is quite expensive. But through sports, they can earn scholarships that can really benefit their future. So it's really amazing to see these achievements over time. And the last part of the program is playing field revamps. So when we go to a school, they don't have the football pitch or they don't have a volleyball court usually. So we actually have to provide this for them. So our volunteers basically grab your spades, grab your hose, and we basically dig out all of the sports pitches for them. So you can see some volunteers here basically taking the grass away. They're actually laying out a cricket pitch. And we just basically talk to the school and we work out what facilities they would like, what sports are they interested in. We're not going to put a football pitch if they hate it. We want to put a cricket pitch there if that's what they really, really like. And this can just make it a lot easier for when we go there to coach, because we actually will use these facilities as we build them. And it just makes a massive difference. I think everyone remembers being back in like when you're younger and you're playing football in a field with two jumpers on the ground. There's so many arguments about if the football had actually gone into the goal. Imagine scaling that up to a group of 50 children trying to run a sports team, a football team, and you're arguing like that, it's going to be impossible. So we actually donate the football post and make it into a proper pitch, and the kids just really, really appreciate it. And it's great for you guys to see a visual impact of what you've done while you've been in the country as well. And of course, we have to go and maintain all the other sports pitches that we have previously worked with as well. So going back and cutting the grass, relaying the pitches and stuff like that. So it's a really amazing thing for you guys to get involved with. We also run a wildlife conservation program. So if the sports was something you were really interested in because it was course related, that's fantastic. But when you're out there, you can add on like an extra week or two doing one of our other programs that we do run in Sri Lanka. They all operate from the same location. So the first one is the wildlife conservation. Here we're basically looking after sea turtles. We're looking after babies and also looking after the adult injured turtles. We're helping boost their numbers in the wild because they are critically low. And we basically help do various different things to maintain a hatchery that we own. We also plant trees in the jungle. So here, deforestation is a really big problem. Lots of species are critically endangered. So we work within a tree nursery to help support them and then take them to be planted into the several different areas that have been affected in Sri Lanka. We also collect plastic from ocean beaches. So we walk up and down, collecting up as much plastic waste as we possibly can to then dispose of this properly. So if you're really interested in sort of environmental conservation, this can be a fantastic thing for you to add on to your trip. The next one is the English development. So this is another program that you can also add on. It actually kind of goes hand in hand with the sports because of course they are working with the same students in the same schools as well. So it runs for the same reason as the sports. Because of the lack of funding and the lack of staff, kids can have big gaps in a day when there isn't a lesson kind of provided for them. So what we do as a team is actually pre-plan our own English lessons and actually go there and deliver it for them. Working through the different grades on all different kind of grammar lessons, speaking, listening, reading and writing. So it's a really amazing program to add on with the sports. And instead of actually renovating sports fields, we actually renovate and rebuild classrooms as well. So again, they work very, very similarly. It's a nice one to add on to the sports. So our volunteer programs, like I say, they run from Monday to Friday. And then with your weekends, you can actually fill them with some really amazing activities as well. So this image is actually taken in one of the evenings. People normally head straight down to the beach after their programs to play a bit of volleyball, watch the sun go down, and then you can head back to the volunteer house to have your evening meal. With the weekends themselves, as there's no programs, you can fill these up with surfing lessons or elephant safaris, mountain treks. If you're really enjoying the food, you can get some cooking lessons as well. So you can book these all in the country, and there are more information about each of these activities is also on our website as well. So the benefit for you guys, firstly, experience. So for a lot of you, this will be the first time that you are taking that big step to travel to another continent like Asia, but also doing this as kind of like a solo traveler. And it's a really fantastic way to expose yourself to new experiences and also take yourself out of your comfort zone as well. The culture, the people, the food, the wildlife is all very, very different. And it's a really amazing way to learn about a new kind of culture. This leads nicely into transferable skills, because the things you'll be learning there, firstly, like the very specific stuff, like you'll be learning from all the programs that you're doing, but also stuff like teamwork, leadership, networking with communities, and also other volunteers you've never met before. This is very, very beneficial for your future employability. So what employers want these days is more than just your university degree on your CV. They want to see that you've actually had some real life experience in a workplace or a volunteering role. And what we do really hits that nail on the head, because you get a lot of experience in a kind of different country. And it's a great talking point. A lot of employers will ask you lots of questions about what you did here, and especially if it's degree related and you're going to be going into that sort of job related skill as well. And that is the last thing. The last point is Traveltier coordinator and intern. So all our staff have been previous volunteers. They came out for a few weeks of their volunteering, and they were really, really interested in the program. So they came back the next year or that summer to do a long-term volunteering placement as a coordinator, with their expenses actually paid for by Traveltier. So that myself, I actually did that. I joined the programs for 3 weeks back when I was 18. I got really, really interested in it, and that led into me being able to do 10 months in the country working for Traveltier, which has now led into a full-time job helping support them in both Sri Lanka and also in the UK as well. And what we really pride ourselves upon is the support that we will give you for your trip. So firstly, the pre-departure will be here to help talk through how to set everything up in regards to flights, visas, insurance, vaccinations, and so on. We'll also be giving all your in-country support. So when you're on program and around the house, you have both our Western and also Sri Lankan team, just running through any questions or queries, some translation sometimes, which you don't find is needed too much, but it's nice to always have someone to talk to if you need any help at all. So I'm going to really briefly run through the costs and also how to get involved now as well. So if you were interested, the only thing you pay anytime soon is the registration fee, which is £159. So this is here to cover our UK operation costs, so we can actually continue working as a charity abroad in Asia. But what it actually allows us to do from the UK is help fully support you, preparing you for, like I say, all the elements of the trip. But also you can select your dates. And this is really important because they are done on a first come, first served basis, and they do tend to fill up quite quickly. So once you do register, you can actually make sure you get the dates that you wanted. This is only a one-time payment. So once you have done it, you will get unlimited access to all our volunteer projects for the rest of your life. We have lots of people that do it once and then want to visit one of our programs again in Sri Lanka, maybe even Nepal or even the Maldives, where we also volunteer. And we'll also be sending you a volunteer pack, which has one of these nice t-shirts on, a nice wristband, booklets, and other things to help you prep for your trip and also support you through your fundraising. And like I said, this is the first step to join Traveltier. And what's included in this is our travel with confidence policy. So this COVID situation has made travel obviously quite difficult over the last few months. A lot of people might have had some plans cancelled, and every day you get that country you can or can't visit to recently. So we wanted to ensure this is a completely stress-free, but also a financially safe booking for you. So with the travel with confidence policy, this allows you to change your dates and choose your dates as many times as you like for no fee attached. So let's say you were joining us in June next year on our program, and you decide that you did want to change it a couple of months due to a personal reason. We would help you do that for no fee attached, and it's really, really nice and easy. Also, if we got to a trip next year and unfortunately we couldn't run it because the FCO weren't allowing travel at that time, we'd also be able to change the dates, but also offer a refund back on your living costs if you've paid them up to that point as well. So this just ensures that you will have no problem when you're booking this in regards to maybe if it did get cancelled, you would always have it covered. And we are very confident about programs next summer running as normal because of the lot of safety precautions and other things in place to ensure that travel will be nice and easy at this point. So I'm going to run through the living cost now as well. So to give you a brief idea, it's £24 per day for your accommodation, food and transport. If you add that up per week, it's £168. So you times that by the amount of weeks that you stay there for. So if you did want to get an individual quote for the amount of weeks that you did want to do, please feel free to email our team and we can explain how you can get one of these. So firstly, the food. This is £8 per day. So we'll be providing your breakfast, lunch and dinner from Monday to Friday, which is all cooked and provided by our chefs. And they make a really nice mix of kind of typical Sri Lankan cuisine and delicacies, as a huge part of obviously visiting a new country like Sri Lanka is trying the local food. And luckily it is very, very delicious here as well. We also can cater for any dietary requirements. So vegetarian, vegan, any intolerances or allergies, just let us know and we'd be able to cover that for you. But with the food, honestly, people enjoy it so much, they end up bringing most of the recipes home to show their family, our chefs, and we also are really happy to sort of offer cooking lessons to you guys. And we can also book lessons with other chefs in the area as well. So you can really pick up some great skills when you're there. The next one is accommodation, which is £10 per day. So we actually have our own Western style volunteer house where you guys will be staying. It's like a dormitory style really. So it's 2 to 6 people per room, same gender dorms with ensuite bathroom, AC. We have a big rooftop dining area where we have all our meals and social events. We do like movie nights, quiz nights and so on. There's also a big hammock space and a place to relax as well. So it's a really cool place to be staying. The house is also wall and gated with a security guard. This is just there for extra peace of mind. Sri Lanka is a very safe country to travel to. We haven't had any problems in the past. And the best thing about the house is it's literally located 50 meters away from the beach. So you can get there really nice and easily. There's lots of bars, restaurants, cafes and shops, touristy things to do, museums, and also you can go surfing every day as well, which is obviously available really, really easy for you guys. And the last living cost is the transport. So this is £6 per day. So we'll be taking you to and from all your different projects in our own vehicles, which are driven by our drivers. So you have that guarantee of safety and they just know exactly where they're going as well. So it makes it really nice and easy for you. So that's the living cost. The last thing I quickly wanted to cover today was the fundraising part of the trip, because this can be a really beneficial thing for you guys. So the first thing to mention with the fundraising is that we're going to be giving you lots of help and support with ideas, showing you how to plan them and then promote them. We also will put you in contact with other people from your societies and universities and colleges to let you know who's doing the program, and you can actually work together for the fundraising, planning kind of bigger events and getting more people involved. And what is required is for each volunteer to fundraise £75 per week that they're there volunteering for. So if you did a 2-week trip, 75 times 2 is £150. If you did 4 weeks or more, the maximum you need to fundraise is 300. So if you did, let's say, like an 8-week volunteering, you just need to fundraise a maximum of 300. And this money will be going directly towards the program in the form of equipment and facilities. And you can start fundraising from the day you sign up to the day you go on your trip to Sri Lanka. And it'll be paying for like books and pens for the children, school uniforms, turtle tanks, trees to plant, and so on. So you'll see how it's all implemented when you're in the country. Anything you fundraise over your target, we can actually give that back to you, which you can then use for your flight cost. So the more you fundraise, the more you can save yourself on the journey there and back. And typical flight prices are ranged around sort of £450 to £600. Of course, we'll be helping you find the best ones available, but lots of volunteers that do get started early on their fundraising, sort of around now, only end up spending about £100 or less on their flights. So it is a really, really great way to save a bit of money. So that's pretty much everything from me today. Firstly, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching through this presentation, and I hope it all made sense. Please feel free to now take the next step and actually get involved as well. So check out our website. This is www.traveltier.co.uk. You can look through all the information here. There's lots of program videos and other information about the tours that we run as well. On the top right of the screen, you'll see a Start Your Adventure button. That's where you can basically apply to find out a little bit more information. But also feel free to give us an email or a call as well, and we can actually run through all of it there. So I'm just going to jump off the presentation in a second, but I'm just going to answer some frequently asked questions that people do wonder throughout these sort of experiences. So like the first one is, can I get involved in multiple programs? Absolutely. You can choose how many weeks of each program you would want to do. Let's say 2 weeks wildlife, 2 weeks English, 5 weeks wildlife, 1 week English. It's up to you. You can select which is best. Can you come out for multiple trips? That's correct. You can visit Nepal, Sri Lanka, and the Maldives within your same trip. But as the registration fee lasts for life, you can always come back and go out again if you wanted to, like the years after and so on. Can you bring a friend? Absolutely. We have lots of people that come along with friends. They don't have to be part of the same uni, just over the age of 18, like I said earlier on. Other questions are about like fundraising support and how we help you. So we'll be giving you lots of ideas before you actually go on the trip. We'll have a fundraising meeting and a next steps call with you to run through all of this. Other sort of questions, if you do have any more, I think it's probably best you guys send it across if you have any more personal questions, but feel free to, like I say, apply on our website to ask them. So thank you very much for watching today. I hope you have a good day. Cheers.